Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have famous Lojo right here. We are in his tackle room, his Guggen garage. Got his fishing after dark set up right here. And he's just gonna give me a quick tackle tour, show me some things on his boat.
Yeah, the Guggen bait wall, the boat, this is the podcast studio, the gym. I mean, also he did not mention, we're actually trying to dodge a hurricane right now. Yeah. This is the remnants of, well, the outskirts of Hurricane Ida that you're hearing right now. It's gonna pick up as soon as we start filming.
This might turn into an episode of surviving a hurricane with Lojo.
Yeah, it really might.
At the set, if you want to say anything about this.
Dude, I tell you what I want to tell you and your audience about. I gotta scratch out my notes here because I got like some super top secret stuff, but I'm gonna show you guys. So when is this video gonna come out on your channel, do you think?
It'll probably be maybe Thursday or Friday. Unless that's too soon, I can put it out next week.
So that would be perfect. So they're gonna get an inside scoop. So the most recent podcast that we filmed, right here, we actually ranked the top 10 fishing YouTube channels of all time. And this is my little cheat sheet right here, as you can see. I scratched out all the actual positionings, but you can see there's some freaking names on there, man. And it's gonna be pretty controversial, you know? We didn't go with the obvious choices. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be, I don't know, I just felt like that was something I could
So you kind of discuss the top 10?
Oh yeah, we break down the whole like top 10 honorable mentions for people that didn't make it. We go way back to like the beginning of fishing YouTube and broke it down. So you're getting to see that info before anybody else does, especially if you put your video out Friday. That means my podcast will come out like 3 days after that. So you're getting a pretty good little exclusive there, man.
Got the hot scoop over here.
Interesting.
Are you going off subscriber count?
There's a bunch of criteria. We break it down. It's like likability, how long you've been on YouTube, your consistency, your influence on the YouTube fishing world. So we got pretty complex with it. That's it right there. That's where the camera goes.
That is the shot right there.
That's where the magic happens. So you said it looks a lot bigger on video? Is that what you said?
Yeah, this entire studio looks bigger on video. Now it's definitely taller in person.
It's really tall.
Because see, in video, you don't realize that this thing is 5.5 foot.
It's literally like 4.5 feet tall, which doesn't sound that tall, but when you're standing next to it, I mean, you're a pretty tall guy. How tall are you?
6'2",
yeah,
like
that's about what I am. And I mean, this thing comes up to like right below the old chest. I mean, this thing is, if I'm standing, I'm just at the right level. But if I was 5'8", you'd be hurting. You'd be like straight little kid right here, just like, all right.
If you guys ever get the chance to like meet YouTubers, it's always a surprise to actually see how tall they are in person. Yeah. Because the first time I ever went fishing with Norm, I didn't realize that guy was
giant.
Like 8 foot tall. I was like,
Norm's a solid 7'2". He's a
So Norm is tall. Larry's tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Tall.
Right along with me.
I'm tall.
And then I met One Rod I went to the Classic, met you all at the Guggen booth 2 years ago. And like he was a little shorter, but
yeah, he's a little boy.
LFG was pretty, kind of decently tall, but Norm was definitely a giant out of everybody. What did you actually call this boat right here? You got a name?
Dude, I don't know if we ever came up with an actual
You say it's like the Blue something all the time.
Well, I call it Blue Betty sometimes. I don't know why, but we've had like the Bloogie, the Blojo. We've had some good ones in the past. Those were all fan recommendations, so I don't really know what we're calling it now. I'm hopefully getting a new boat in the next 6 months or a year, so I don't even know if I'm gonna go through the naming process, but it's definitely been my baby because it's the first boat I ever owned. Yeah. And then I got to like customize it, got to put the electronics on it that I wanted, like live scope and stuff, which a lot of people don't have on an aluminum boat. Right. So I feel really blessed to have all that stuff. I mean, a 150 Merc on a boat this size, I mean, this thing will freaking fly. Yeah, I mean, it's good. Oh, you've been banging through those rocks while that dam is. Oh my gosh, dude! I've hit this skeg so many things going like full speed troll, and I've never broken it. True story. I got in Rackley's boat. Right, he had a brand new Phoenix, and I think he had a Garmin front trolling motor. I get on it for 2 minutes going down this creek. I wasn't even operating it. I had just dumped it in the water, and I maybe gave it a little bit of gas to go down the center of a creek. We hit something, I tear his skeg off and his prop within the first 2 minutes of ever operating his trolling motor. That's a true story. And I was depressed for hours because he was leaving for a big trip in like 2 days. He was going fishing, some big body of water. And I felt so, even though it wasn't my fault and he wasn't mad at me or anything, but it was a freak thing that happened. I'm just like, dude, I have hit so many things with my skeg and it's never broken. So I'm not saying Minn Kota is better than Garmin. I'm just saying we'll leave it at that. Because I run Garmin units. All my electronics are Garmin's, which are awesome. Right. Best electronics I've ever used. Got fin number 1 tore up right there. Can you see that pretty good? Yeah. Let's just keep on going down the line. Then we look at this thing, chunk missing right there.
Hey, that's nice. Is that a U-fall stump or what?
It very well could be. Then we got some, now that's probably the best shape one right there. And then, yeah, so literally all 4 are slightly damaged. And I just replaced this prop not too long ago. But see, when you're as dumb as I am, you always have a spare prop not too far away. Yeah. Because, yeah, you're probably gonna need it.
Yeah, you definitely hit something good with that.
But yeah, so moving along to the walls here, I feel bad because at this current moment, the walls are kind of bare. And that's because of what time of year this is. This is August going into September. So this is coming off the busiest season for me. Like as YouTubers, I don't know about you, but summer months, basically from March to September, the busiest months, you know, because we're fishing all the time, equipment's going in the boat, out of the boat. So normally this wall is full, it looks all pretty, but right now it just is what it is. In the winter months is when you kind of come in here, you spend all day, you organize, you clean up, got Guggen rods just sitting over here, my building's taking on water. I mean, you know, this is normal stuff, but the Guggen bait wall is looking a little bit better.
Yeah, the soft plastics over here.
Yeah, soft plastics are good. And I've got a ton in my boat too, so I'm sitting on quite a bit of Guggen baits right now. I'm good on Guggen baits, but the hard baits are kind of the ones, you know, you break them off, you lose them. Right. You beat them up against a bridge wall or something and damage them. So you tend to go through those a little bit faster, at least I do. But the table, absolute mess. I built this table just like I built the podcast table. So it's like one of my proud moments because I'm not really somebody that's handy per se, but I like to build things.
If you guys are an OG Lojo watcher, you'll definitely recognize this table from like,
oh gosh,
what was it, like 10,000 subscribers you built this, or was it before that?
I don't know, I have to go back and check, but it definitely, I've had it 3 different houses. I mean, this is my 3rd house now that I've had it, so I've had it for at least 4 or 5 years. So yeah, since the beginning.
This was the iconic background of the Lojo intros from back in the day.
That's right, yeah, that sure was. I will never get rid of this thing. I never will, because it's just got too many memories now. And the fact that I built it. If I bought it, it might be different, but my wife and I built it, so it's kind of like a special piece. Never get rid of that thing. Podcast table, I don't know if we're gonna be able to move that thing because it's freaking massive. But yeah, I'm never gonna leave this thing behind. But it won't be this messy either here come a couple months, but what can I say, man? This is just what fisherman stuff looks like. You know?
2 or 3 months it'll be organizing time.
Yeah.
It'll look great in January.
That's right, and it'll stay good until about March, April, and then we go through the whole process. You know, spawning season comes and it's just, there's gonna be a mess everywhere. So, but I am looking forward to the winter time though, so I can, because I don't like this. This really bothers me, but I just don't have the time to come out, especially when it's 100 degrees and this building gets every bit as hot as outside does. Right. So you can't just be out here for hours, even though ironically our gym is out here. So if you're looking to get a good sweat on, I got the hookup.
If you guys will get this video up to at least 1,000 likes, I have to come back out with Lojo. We'll do a little lifting contest, maybe do some squats.
Some squats? Yeah.
Some squats.
Gotta build those Yak Pack thighs up, man.
Yak Pack definitely has the best thighs out of everybody in the Guggen squad. And he's not ashamed to show it either.
If we were ranking a top 10 quads of YouTube fishing, it would be a landslide Yak Pack #1. I'm not sure who would even be in the top 3 because I don't know if anybody's got quads like that.
Nobody.
So, yeah, so he's been in here a couple times. He's lifted a couple, oh God. He's lifted a couple weights out here before. But you're getting another sneak peek because these dumbbells are brand new. I mean, you could look at them, you can tell. I mean, they're like, they haven't even touched dirt, most of them. You know, so they're completely new.
It don't even look like you touched these 100s right here. Come on.
No, the original shipment, they didn't have 100s, and I got pissed. I called them. I was like, hey, no. I need some 100s too, so they overnighted some 100s, but that's why they're more clean, because they came 2 days later than those. Just put up some mirrors. Basically, once this is all done, it's going to look like a gym, you know? Yeah. So this whole wall will be mirrors. I've started framing this one. I've just been kind of piecing it together with mirrors that I find. Because mirrors are actually really expensive. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Dude, like a 72 inch, so like a 6 foot by 4 foot mirror is like $500 or $600.
Wow.
And when I first did my first home gym 3 years ago, you could buy them for like $100. I mean, it's insane. Just the price of everything's going up with COVID, obviously. Material prices are just through the roof. But the goal is just to make this as much like an actual gym as possible, because my wife's huge into working out, even more than I am right now.
Right.
So we got to kind of make it as good as we can. But we're almost perfect, I think.
You definitely need a Lojo symbol right there in the middle of the deadlift.
On the deadlift?
Just hands down, you gotta have it.
Dude, that would be pretty cool. It'd be cool just to get like some custom flooring in here, you know?
Right.
Because it's always dirty. There's just nothing you can do. I sweep it all the time.
That's just how gyms are, man.
It's just, well, this is outdoor. You have to walk, you know, through my yard to get here. So it's impossible to keep it clean, man. But I'm doing my best. That's what a bunch of people said first time they saw my gym was how dirty it was. But it's like, look, man, it's hard to keep, just like the fishing stuff, if you actually use stuff, it's hard to keep it clean. If you're not using it all the time, if you're a weekend warrior, then it's super easy to keep it clean. But this is my job, so, you know, everything's freaking dirty out here.
All right, so hope you enjoyed the little tackle room tour. It's definitely a lot bigger and a lot cooler seeing this in person. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. This is kind of like my 10,000 subscriber special video, just since I crossed that mark. So this is kind of like a give back to some of you guys, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. But like I said, if you want to see me come back, make sure you leave this video a like, get it up to at least 1,000 likes, and I'll maybe come back and do some fishing. Nice. So
yeah,
you gotta
that
have
should
some,
be easy, man. Come on.
That's easy.
You definitely want him to come back, lift some weights, catch some fish out of the backyard pond. So it'll be the easiest 1,000 likes you ever got, man. I'm predicting it right now.
Let's get it.